Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Fortnite video. Now today's video, it's something pretty special. I have my buddy here, Dr. Pineapplez, and it's going to be uploaded to both of our channels. Both of us do Fortnite videos and stuff on YouTube. And today's video, we're going to be talking about a point of interest Loot Lake, which when we both started to play the game, Loot Lake was like the place to go to. It was the Tilted Towers, the OG Tilted Towers. But lately, because of traversing the water can be so tough and different stuff like that, you know, going through it, you're so slow, building on it can be kind of rough. A lot of people avoid Loot Lake at all costs, and that's why there's been a ton of rumors and ideas going around as to in season 5 or late in season 4 that Loot Lake will be basically remastered. There's a bunch of different ideas behind this, and I think some of them are really cool and do have a high probability of happening. But if you guys are watching this on Dr. Pineapplez channel, my name is the Goblin. What I do is Fortnite tips and tricks videos. I cover all the weekly challenges and stuff like that. So if that's something you guys are interested, you should definitely check out my channel. The link for it will be down in the description. And my buddy Dr. P, I'll let him take it away from here.
What's up, guys? I'm Dr. P. Luke, obviously the Goblin, he does a lot of awesome challenges over on his channel. If you're watching it on my channel, obviously you should go check him out. He's the #1 tip guy, #1 challenge guy. He's got some really good stuff. Obviously, if you're watching on his channel, you should probably come check me out too. But like he said, we're checking out a bunch of Loot Lake possibilities for remastered versions. It's pretty much, you know, as we'll get into later in the video, dead content at this point. So, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Loot Lake is kind of a dead area of the map, and my buddy Dr. Pineapplez, he does cover like this guy, nobody knows more about the storyline and different stuff of Fortnite than this guy does, so definitely check out his channel. Both of our channels will be linked down below. Let's get into it, okay? We have a couple ideas that we've seen here from Reddit, from other sources, and this is like where the origins of a lot of ideas happen, and Epic Games actually puts them into the game. And Loot Lake is definitely, I think they're reworking Moisty Mire, and the next on their list most likely is going to be Loot Lake. So the first idea we have here is going to be the proposed map addition, the paddle boats. Now I think this is kind of genius, and what the paddle boats are is it'll be a fun option to traverse Loot Lake rather than just walking through the water. Basically how they would work is they spawn on random locations around the map, seating for 2. They're kind of like water shopping carts eventually, you know, essentially. Yeah, and it would be a lot of fun just in the water combat. Do you think this is a good idea, and should this be added to the game, Doc?
Truthfully, I think it is. You know, like you said earlier, trying to get across Loot Lake is just so terrible. It's not fun at all. You basically got to exhaust all your materials building across. So truth be told, I think this would be a good idea. It would be fun. It would provide another element to the game, much like the shopping cart did. It wouldn't really change gameplay, and you'd still be very open out there on the paddle boat, and people could shoot you. So I don't think it would really be that detrimental to actual gameplay. I think it would, you know, be very equivalent to Hop Rocks in the Divot. You know, like it's specific to a certain area, and if you don't want to deal with it, just don't go there. And I don't think it's that bad at all. It's actually quite good, I think.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. The thing with the Hop Rocks is that they sort of spread them around the map when it first happened, but now they're sort of more centralized. And I do think that, like, with the Hop Rocks, because of it'll be a lot different than the paddle boats. Paddle boats would work more like how the shopping carts work. But of course, Loot Lake is basically the only big water area on the whole entire map. Moisty Mire has some puddles and swamps, but it's not the same. Going through Loot Lake, if you want to go through fast, you better have a couple hundred materials to waste. And if the one of the worst zones in the game is when it ends in that middle house, and pushing that can be super, super tough. So I think this first idea is definitely good. Let's get into another idea, because these are all proposed different ideas and things that are floating around in Rumorville. The next one is a Loot Lake tunnel system. Now what a Loot Lake tunnel system is we'll be showing images up on the screen in the video as we're talking about it. This one would have tunnels connecting to the mine area under the big lake house, as well as 3 points on the shore. So if you had to get across Loot Lake when the storm's coming in or whatever, technically you could just run through the tunnels. Now I think this is kind of a cool idea in theory. However, I think it's not as likely to happen as the paddle boats, because this could really hurt gameplay. People would camp in the tunnels. If the final safe zone was here, everyone would just be hiding in the tunnels. I don't really think this one is a cool idea in theory, and it would be great for just moving through Loot Lake, but combat in Loot Lake I think would really suffer from this. Do you think this is a good idea, Doc, having the tunnel system implemented?
Yeah, I don't think it's really something that should happen. Like you said, on paper, it sounds like something that would, you know, just be good. The more the merrier, more content, awesome. But if you break it down, it seems like, yeah, people would hide, especially on the graphic, you know, the idea on screen. It looks like it'd be a very thin, very narrow tunnel. So, like, even when you're down there, there's not really much room. It's just what's going to be down there besides people hiding? I really don't think it would be any help at all to the game. It would just be a detriment, especially, people trying to get through Loot Lake. You'd have to, like, oh, where are they? Are they in the zone? Are they below me? Are they above me? I don't know. It would be really tough, especially since, like, let's say the zone ends, around the area of the tunnel. You're in the lake. Somebody's below the lake. How are you going to get to them? How?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'd have to go all the way to the entrance or one of the exits, and I just think that this could work, but it would have to be a lot of different brainstorm would have to go into it. I definitely don't think it would be as easy as paddle boats are basically, okay, shopping cart, copy paste for water. So I think that this one isn't as likely. The next one we have, which this one is one of my favorites. I think this should happen. Loot Lake needs a revamp, and the next one is basically the Boardwalk idea, and I think this is awesome. Now, what happens on this Loot Lake point of interest? We basically have two different proposed ideas. The first one has sort of the Loot Lake house being moved north, and on the southeastern edge, there's a beachfront area, which includes one building that's kind of resembles the Tomato Town building, as well as a bunch of different chest locations, and basically just another place where you could loot. That would make Loot Lake a lot better because it would have the factory area, which is like the main area of Loot Lake as of right now for actual looting, which is kind of ironic because its name is Loot Lake, but there's not as much loot as you would think there would be. I think this would really make it truly Loot Lake. I think this first Boardwalk idea would be genius. It wouldn't fix the issue of actually going through Loot Lake, but it would add some more gameplay aspects around it. Do you think this one is a good idea?
Oh, absolutely. Like, I really do. Like, nobody really goes to Loot Lake aside from challenges, so, revamping the area, especially adding such a cool area with the beach and a boardwalk, like, everyone's just going to land there just out of curiosity, and it would really revitalize the area. So I think it would be a good idea, especially considering, this hypothetical idea does include canoes, which would be very similar to the paddle boats we talked about earlier, kind of combining two ideas in one. So I think this is really something that, should be implemented. And, like you said earlier, the Epic Games really looks at Reddit. They're very active on Reddit, and a lot of the ideas they've done previously have been drawn from Reddit. So if anything's possible, I think this is the most likely.
Yeah, I definitely think so too. Another reason is, we've had the leaks that Moisty Mire was going to be revamped, and they really did that with the movie set area. But I think that if you look and you think about why were they so obsessed with, when everyone was looking at Tilted Towers, why were they so obsessed with the Dusty Depot and turning that into the Dusty Divot? And the answer is pretty simple in my opinion. It's because that was sort of a dead area central on the map.
Yep.
And you want to get as many people away from the edges and more into central areas to just make the game flow a little bit better. It's fine if you have 20 people landing on the outskirts and then you have that main 80 to make the gameplay a lot more fast paced, where you can find people early, mid, and late game. And I think that much like they did with Dusty Depot, turning a dead area into Dusty Divot, which kind of backfired. Dusty Divot is sort of like it was super hyped at the start, but now it's kind of
highly avoided.
Yeah, it's kind of highly avoided, slowed down. It's kind of the opposite of Loot Lake. You can actually go through there to speed up through the hop rocks instead of slow down like Loot Lake. But making Loot Lake a more central area, more popular, is definitely on their list to do. I think the Boardwalk idea is pretty cool, as well as the second screenshot proposed idea we have for the Boardwalks. Now, this one kind of brings together everything. It brings together the new location and the new loot points on that right side with the house, with the beach umbrellas. I'm sure there'll be plenty of chest locations, as well as you got the canoes in the water to traverse the water, or maybe they just have chests on them like they do right now. And then you have that main boardwalk, which is essentially like what we manually build every time we're trying to cross Loot Lake, but it would be there already, and it could make for some crazy water battles, making this point of interest great, and also making moving across Loot Lake simple and easy. Also, the big island has been moved north with a boardwalk from the current one, just for simple access. I really think that combining this with some sort of movement system could be the future of Loot Lake, and probably would be the best thing for it. Do you agree with that, or which ideas are you rocking with the most, Doc?
I would agree with you. Like, like I said previously, I think adding a way to traverse the water, whether that's a paddleboat or a canoe or something else, that's the number one priority. That should be something that should happen. Nobody wants to spend 200 materials crossing Loot Lake and then, get stuck and get shot. This happened to me quite a bit. So, also adding, the house and the beach, different looting areas, moving the island north and adding quick access, all this combined really would revitalize the area and make it such a better point of interest. People would actually go to Loot Lake. You might have 15 or 20 people landing around the lake and fighting, on the boats, on the beach, on the boardwalk. It would just make it a lot more fun and make the game flow a lot more smoothly.
Yeah, I definitely think so. And out of Loot Lake, a lot of important parts about a place or a point of interest are the rotations. Out of Loot Lake, you got Pleasant Park rotating there. You got Tilted Towers rotating there. You possibly got Dusty rotating there. It is a centralized area, and I think that Fortnite really does walk the lines of like implementing cool things, shopping cart, jetpacks, but at the same time trying to not ruin the game and balancing fun with an actual competitive side of things. And I think they really are doing an exceptional job as of right now. And I think these proposed changes would just take that to the next level. And I don't think there's anything negative or game breaking that would come out of this. If anything, this would make the game more fun, revitalize the location, get more people central, and would speed up the theme of gameplay. And that's been a complaint lately, especially when they put in game modes like Blitz, where you can farm materials fast. The games last 7 to 8 minutes or 7 to 8 minutes shorter, and the complaints as of right now are it's tough to find people in the mid game. The farming aspect of the game takes too long, and I think that's what Epic Games is focused on, making changes to that in the future. And I definitely think Loot Lake, you guys will see some changes coming to it. I would guess in the beginning area of Season 5. There's also the possibility that skins can come along with this one. And Dr. P, do you want to talk to them a bit about the skins?
Sure, so the skins are obviously, it says splash zone there, and it's basically just a bunch of different skins and outfits and even axes you can have. So there's a beach towel, like a sand spade, a pool noodle, a sun umbrella, obviously, which would be really, really cool pickaxes. You've also got the skins there, obviously just look like summertime pool outfits, very similar to what League of Legends does with like pool party themed skins, and I think it would be awesome. It would also kind of line up with the summer theme. The season 4 ends in like 27 days or something like that, so it would be right in the middle of summer and make a lot of sense. I really think it'd be a good idea.
Yeah, I definitely think this is a high possibility. The rumors of pirates taking over, the splash zone skins, it just seems like a gimme for Epic Games to, even if this isn't the theme of Season 5, just throw in these skins as like a side thing like they did with the criminals or like they did with different other things. I definitely think that this is the next area they're looking at, and Fortnite really is, as long as they keep constantly updating and innovating the game while keeping that core gameplay fun and competitive, I hope this game continues to grow and be as awesome as it is right now. That's what it for today's video, guys. If you guys could all smack a like on this video, that'd be awesome. Whether you're watching this on my channel, Dr. P's channel, you should definitely be subscribed to both of us. I think we both would agree with that, and links will be down in the description if you guys can go ahead and do that. And that's about it. Any final words, Doc?
No, just make sure you guys are subbed to both channels. Luke has got the tips and challenges, I got the lore. Come on by.
Yeah, me and Doc have been good friends for 5-6 years now. And, both doing Call of Duty videos, Fortnite videos. We play together a lot. I'm sure you might have seen our names in each other's gameplays. And I thought this was a fun video to sort of combine and get to. We pretty much agree on most things, but I think most of you guys will as well. We want the game to be fun, and this definitely seems fun. That's about it, guys. Hope you all have a great night, and we're both out. Peace.
Peace.